8:32 right now, and all morning we've been talking about the drones, right? This is a huge talker of a story. Hundreds of sightings across New York and New Jersey, even a congressional hearing about what is going on.
So yesterday, lawmakers from across New Jersey gathered for a meeting held by state police to try and get to the bottom of those mysterious drone sightings. Our next guest was there. He has an update for us. Middletown, New Jersey Mayor Tony Perry. Thank you so much for being here with us. So what was the big takeaway from the meeting? Are we any closer to learning where these drones are from?
Unfortunately, no. And the lead investigators for these drone sightings was not there to brief us, which was the most misunderstood, perplexing part of this entire briefing. Was the FBI was not there. So unfortunately, now there are more questions than we have answers. And just yesterday when I was driving home, I saw late last night a drone hovering about 200 feet above Route 35 in Middletown. So unfortunately, the briefing yesterday was really just a compilation of the frustrations that mayors and lawmakers across New Jersey continue to have.
Let me ask a question that I've heard from so many people, which is, why can't you see the drone in the sky and then follow it to where it lands? What's the answer to that?
Well, apparently, according to the state police, they have followed a few. I know that the Ocean County Sheriff has also used his drones, which unfortunately could not keep up with the speed. And state police reported yesterday that the battery life on these drones, they're estimating to be between 6 and 8 hours, which has led many to believe, including Congressman Van Drew, who yesterday reported that these drones were coming from a ship offshore. That question came up, and the Coast Guard, I know, according to the state police briefing yesterday, is searching the 130-mile coastline of New Jersey. But it is very concerning that you have more than 180 drone sightings across the state of New Jersey over our infrastructure, our electrical grid, our water reservoirs, and most importantly, our military installations, which do cause a big concern, especially here in Middletown, as we're home to Naval Weapons Station Earl.
Jeff Van Drew had actually said it was an Iranian mothership, right? So did that come up? It seems like that idea has already been knocked down here. Any proof of why he would have said that to begin with?
I haven't spoken with the congressman. It did come up because Congressman Van Drew did make that announcement on national news while we were all in the briefing, which was a bit alarming because we all turned to the superintendent of the state police and said, "Is this true?" Now, he at the time said that it wasn't, but I have no reason to doubt that Congressman Van Drew wouldn't have some type of reason to say that there is some type of foreign adversary that is responsible for this.
Okay.
These drones have been here for long enough. They're flying over military spaces in Virginia and New Jersey, so which has clear signs saying no drones. Why not shoot it down and then investigate what it is?
Well, the FAA is responsible for the airspace. Many people have come to me and said, why not just shoot them and take them out of the air? I understand that mentality and the rationale behind why people would want to see the drones be fired upon. I think that the state police and especially the military, you come within 500 feet of the pier at Naval Weapons Station Earl, they are authorized to shoot at your 27-foot center console boat. So why not take down one of these drones to try and investigate and understand what the origin of these drones are? Because the state keeps saying and the federal government keeps saying that there's no imminent threat. Until you tell me where these are coming from and who's responsible for them, they're an imminent threat.
Well, that's my question, right? How do you know? How can you so confidently tell the public that there's no imminent threat if you don't know what it is, if you don't know where it came from?
Yeah, it's so ridiculous that we continue to sit there and act as if this is no issue. It is very alarming and concerning that for weeks now we are no closer to an answer today than we were on November 18th when they were first spotted. And there are growing concerns that these drones have been here a lot longer and just haven't been noticed in certain parts of the state. So we have a lot of questions that are still unanswered. And unfortunately, with the FBI not being there yesterday, who's in charge of this, who we've all been told to direct our residents to to not be there for this briefing was absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion.
It makes me believe like the FBI knows what's going on, but that information's classified and they're not releasing it to the public. But what we were talking about earlier in the commercial break, I found very interesting. Can you sort of tell our audience what Virginia and New Jersey has in common?
Well, you've got to look at both of those states, and it's a huge concentration of military installations in both of them. I mean, most of our submarines come out of Virginia, out of Norfolk, Virginia. New Jersey has not only Fort Dix, but Naval Weapons Station Earl here in Middletown. You have Picatinny Arsenal up in Morris County. So when you see drones in those two areas, knowing that there is this massive concentration of military bases, why wouldn't we be taking a more proactive approach at bringing these drones down? If a drone comes over top of MetLife Stadium during a Giants or Jets games, which is probably the most entertaining part of those two games could be, state police brings those drones down. They have the technology, but state police have been unable to acquire a signal coming off of these drones to be able to lower them to the ground. I just can't believe that we're unable to acquire a signal. What it means to me is that you're seeing some type of foreign adversary take advantage of weak leadership at the federal government.
I know we got to go. We're out of time here. And this is not a flipping question. I just have to ask it. Are we sure it's a drone, right? Because you're going to have the conspiracy theorists who are like, well, it's a UFO, which is like an alien.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not going to pretend to be an aviation expert. But yesterday, I was pretty close to this drone over top of Route 35, hovering about 200 feet. And, you can hear them buzzing around. I'm going to stick with the drone. I'm not going to put a tinfoil hat on.
Mayor, I really I appreciate you joining us this morning. You were excellent. Please come on back. Keep us posted, okay?